In the annals of human history, malaria stands as a relentless adversary, responsible for countless suffering and death. Its origins can be traced back to antiquity, with evidence suggesting that the disease has been infecting mankind for thousands of years. The spread of malaria can be attributed to a tiny yet formidable foe, the female Anopheles mosquito, which plays a critical role in transmitting the malaria parasite Plasmodium from person to person. The earliest records of malaria emerge from ancient civilizations etched in historical texts and discovered through the examination of human remains. Mesopotamian writings dating back to 2700 BCE reveal descriptions of a burning fever akin to malaria symptoms. In ancient China, around 2700 to 2000 BCE, a medical text known as the Nei Qing detailed a disease called Sha Shen, or Shu, believed to be malaria. Malaria's encroachment on human society escalated through trade routes, conquests, and migration. As civilizations expanded and interacted with each other, the disease found new fertile ground for transmission. The spread of malaria along the Silk Road and other ancient trade routes facilitated its diffusion across the continents. The rise of empires and the movement of armies also played a role in dispersing malaria to new regions. In ancient Greece and Rome, malaria was a recurring health concern. The Roman author Celsus described symptoms similar to malaria and proposed remedies involving herbs and exposure to cold air. Ancient Egyptians recognized the association between malaria and the marshy Nile River delta, where mosquitoes thrived. The name malaria itself has an interesting origin, stemming from the Italian phrase malaria, which translates to bad air. In ancient times, before the discovery of the mosquito's role in transmitting the disease, people attributed the cause of malaria to noxious fumes emanating from marshy and swampy areas. This belief was consistent with the observation that malaria was prevalent in regions with standing water and wetlands, which are prime breeding grounds for mosquitoes. It was only later, in the late 19th century, that the connection between mosquitoes and malaria transmission was established, revolutionizing our understanding of the disease. Despite the shift in scientific knowledge, the name malaria remains as a testament to the historical perceptions and misconceptions surrounding this ancient and formidable affliction. Throughout the centuries, attempts to combat malaria continued. Early treatments ranged from herbal remedies and bloodletting to various rituals and charms. However, it was not until the discovery of quinine in the bark of the cinchona tree, native to South America, that a breakthrough occurred in the fight against malaria. Quinine proved effective in treating the symptoms, though it was costly and not always accessible. Malaria's impact on European colonialism was substantial, and its deadly consequences became evident during European expansion in the tropics and subtropics. European settlers, who had little to no immunity, were vulnerable to the disease. Malaria outbreaks severely weakened and decimated colonial forces, disrupting their efforts to establish control over territories. The construction of the Panama Canal during the late 19th and early 20th centuries exemplified the formidable challenge posed by malaria. The disease had already thwarted attempts by the French in the 1880s. It was only after the discovery of the mosquito's role in transmission that American physician Dr. William Gorgas, alongside other public health measures, successfully managed to control malaria and yellow fever in the region. This achievement, including mosquito abatement programs and improved living conditions for workers, led to the eventual completion of the canal and underscored the significance of understanding vector-borne diseases. Malaria's notoriety as the deadliest disease in human history stems from its extraordinary toll on human life. The World Health Organization, WHO, estimates that millions of people, predominantly in sub-Saharan Africa, suffer from malaria each year. Young children and pregnant women are especially vulnerable. The disease's ability to cripple societies, devastate economies, and hinder development has perpetuated its deadly legacy over the ages. In modern times, progress has been made in combating malaria through various means, including insecticide-treated bed nets, anti-malarial medications, and research into a potential malaria vaccine. Nevertheless, the challenges persist, and the history of malaria serves as a haunting reminder of the tenacity of infectious diseases and the importance of continued efforts in their prevention and control.